Up YouTube, if you're alive right now, please do me a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Tell me how much you hate me in the comments down below. And if you love me, throw a little heart in the comments. It really helps the engagement. And if you really support me, help more people see it so they can hate or love me. I love it all. We here for it. Speaking of being here for things, we need to have a conversation about somebody. I haven't seen this yet, so there might not be anything for me to talk about, but it seems like people have a very disingenuous opinion of her. So I want to see if it's disingenuous or if it's actually something that I should be paying attention to. Because as you guys know, I like to pretend, act, play the role of a prominent leader in the leftist circle, even though I'm barely known. Because I feel like I have ideas and thoughts that should be heard. And some people have a platform to spread leftist ideas and don't use it properly. Let's analyze one of those people. Ladies and gentlemen, today's segment is about Briahna Joy Gray. Now, I've seen, heard her in some form or fashion. She has this thing called the Bad Faith Podcast. Now, she's already gotten a bunch of heat with some other dude who's arguing with her about something. I believe his name is Tim Clark. I might be wrong about that. Let me do a quick search so I don't sound stupid. I think I did get that name wrong. Shoot. Is it? What's his name? Anyway, oh my God, because I'm going to spend so much time on that. She's gotten into a little bit of a heated conversation with somebody else about criticizing her. So I'm going to tread lightly here, but I'm not going to let my opinion be silenced. So let's see what she's got to say, because I see it says half of the left thinks that you shouldn't talk about third parties. You really fucking shouldn't. But I'm going to explain why, but let's see a rationale.
Half the left thinks that you shouldn't talk about third parties. Half the left literally calls the other half the dumb left for articulating any value or interest in third party candidacies.
The reason why we call you the dumb left is because you're doing the thing that we want the Republicans to do. Oh my God, electoral politics was one of the things I studied in college because I thought I wasn't interested in political science, and then I had a second class on top of that, and it was about electoral science. For you to think that the left could splinter off enough support to boost a third party candidate, realizing that half the boomers in this country will vote D, the main Democrat party, regardless of information that's given, because that's just how they vote, is the same reason that Trump was able to get elected into office in the first place. It is ironically in bad faith to try to bring up a third party candidate when what we need to do is force the Democratic Party to weaken its stranglehold on progressive policies. Right now, they're the ones who have the progressive ideology nailed down. For us to boost up a third party, you need to put more third party candidates in lower level politics. You need to have socialists set up as mayors in cities so they can have an example of how it would work. You can't pull off that coalition right now because we're still coming off the heels of a motherfucking authoritarian almost winning the fucking presidency back. You'd have to grab the right and bring them to a third party. And the only third party they care about is libertarians or super alt-right Nazis. So when you bring up having a third party for leftists, you also have to remember that you're also talking about a rebounding effect for the right. This is what I mean by short-sighted leftism. You want the whole fucking cake, but you can't explain to me how the cake is made. I get what you're saying. I understand how you got there, but your entire ideology is not centered around why. I get how you got there. I don't get how you want it to actually look. You're just saying it.
Half the left thinks that the other half of the left is monstrous
Tim Black, thank you.
villains who attack women of color, for critiquing the efficacy of squad members, right?
What? Yo, somebody pulled up in my inbox with that same argument, using my blackness to like deflect criticism. Thanks, Candace. Thanks. And it's weird because when I bring up comparisons like that, they say, no, Grouper, she's not like that. It's like, but you echo those sentiments, which makes me think you're about to make a Why I Left the Left video, and don't do that.
One might call them the institutional left, is doing the work, I would argue, of backing people away from exactly those strategies that would create fear that is useful for us. And they're doing it under the cover of saying, well, we have all of these team players on the inside, we have to protect them now.
I hate being the opportunist or the optionalist here, but you kind of have to. Because if we were able to pull them out, it would say we don't want progressive policies. We want our people specifically that will only fight for what we want and nothing else. It's not how politics work. They are not strong enough of a coalition. You need more of them in. The only way to get on the inside is to either put a mole in that could sneak around. Hey, you know, we could take a little dark money and we could use that for progressiveness to really boost our, or you'd have to exhume everyone. Like the whole party has to be blown away and you have to replace all of them, which instead of third parties is what you should be fucking doing. Using this momentum to inspire new candidates that have better platforms than the old fogies that are running, and then use that as the catalyst to be able to say, well, now we have like 74 people out of the Democrats in the House are all progressives. Now we can force the vote. Motherfucker saying force the vote. Force the vote. Force what vote? With who? Who cares? I'm gonna be nice to Nazis, but force the vote. Shitty ass movements, all collectively focused on the wrong thing. Why not you know what somebody said? How do you get money how do you put money back in the black community? What if they go on strike and only buy in black places? Then you got to learn about the economic system of where those black places have to supply their own goods. If we were to create a chain network, a big chain network of all black owned, all minority, all poor places that need more money, and we spent it like we do at Target, then you would have a coalition. Oh, look, we're competitors. If you don't listen to our demands, we can create millionaires that can then buy out your shit. Then they listen. Talk about how capital's the bottom line of everything. Use capital. I love that the light changes with my voice if I get loud enough. Use capital. Try that. Have you tried that, Briahna?
The House discourse is silly, but when people say, okay, well, my critique of Hassan Piker and
you better be nice about my boy. I'll fuck you up if you're not nice about my boy. Okay? That's a joke, by the way. So I know everybody take that shit serious. She could have named anybody I liked and I would have said the same thing.
this is a critique that I've seen that I'm articulating. You know, I'm not, staking a claim here.
Okay, now for those of you who have watched this far and said, I think you're taking her words a little bit out of context. I think you're being a little bit too overboast about it. Listen to what she has to say and then respond. Does that not sound like many people are saying? It's not my thought. It's just, many people are saying, I've heard it before. Bro, random Twitter users with 4 likes and 3 followers are not the people saying shit.
But that, because he is opposed to third parties, because he, generally speaking, is, defensive of the squad members, because he wasn't supportive of efforts like Force the Vote, that is part of why we're frustrated that he has been able to earn so much money and buy this house, let's say.
Oh my God, it's back to the house. It's back to the house. All right. That's it. If you are a right-wing shill, apparently, if you are a right-wing shill that's able to do all this stuff, that's fine. Be a leftist at any level and you make any type of money, it's wrong. Donate that money. Why are you not living poor like the rest of us? People donate hundreds of subs to his channel like a week. One person will donate 100. People subscribe. It's $5 a month. If you have a big, why isn't XQC talking about it? Hassan doesn't even have the most subs on Twitch. Oh, but you espouse those values, so you should be one of the ones to set an example. But the people who make more money than him don't give a shit. He has to give up half his money to Twitch, so the more money he make, the more money Twitch make. So what the fuck is the difference? Why are we having this conversation about Hassan buying a night? If he bought a cheaper house, would you like that? Are we on the Bernie Sanders path right now? Are we going to talk about Bernie Sanders is a millionaire, but he want to be a socialist? You sound like a right-winger. Words, words, more words. This is my problem with you. This is my problem with the left that wants the cake and doesn't know how to eat it. You cannot in the same breath say that we should be like disallowing slave labor and having unions and whatever, and then having somebody who advocates for that grow because of that advocation. Think of him as a world famous teacher who goes around espousing left values. He's not supposed to have a good car. He got a house. I'm pretty sure he's moving his family in there. And even if he isn't, who cares? It's one dude. I'm happy for Hassan. It blew all of his money on a house. Game over. Game fucking over. He gonna make the money, and then what next? What next? The left is when house Vuvuzela iPhone 100. Like, hey, yo, leave, shut up. Why does this house shit keep coming up? Why are y'all so obsessed over this? If you make money from Patreon and you are able to buy a house and you call yourself a socialist, I don't give a shit. Just don't change your values around because you have money, which they don't do because he's on stream. Most of these people are on stream 24/7. They don't leave their house. So it doesn't fucking matter what they do outside of it. They profess one thing and live that when they talk outside. If they get something nice, I'm happy for them. They worked hard. You know how hard it is to stream every single day for 10 hours a day for an entire year? Content creation every single day, 7 days a week for 10 to 12 hours. If anything, we exploit him. Like, we give him $5. I give him, let's say I was his only subscriber and he still did 10 hours. He's getting $5 a month to stream 70 times 30 for 2,100 hours. Mind you, there's 730, wait, what? Wait, what? I'm sorry. Did I get that wrong? There's only... That feels wrong. Anyway. Yeah, 70 hours times 30 days is 2,100. Oh my God, Fork. Oops, I can make mistakes. Look at that, I made a mistake. Look at that, how easy that was to figure out. My bad, I thought about that in my head a little too quickly. Quick maths.
And that the people who are doing the best in the left ecosystem are the people, not frankly Jimmy Dore, he's an outlier there, I'd say, but are the people who have kind of closed ranks around lefty institutional actors, perhaps for access reasons, perhaps who knows why. It could be sincere sympathies. But that's part of what's motivating, I think, this fracture. It's not all superficial.
It is literally superficial. It is you are literally creating a superficial reason. The people with the most pull are pulling for the squad, and that creates a split between people who criticize the squad and people who like the squad. Who gives a shit? Give me a policy. How do you want this to look? Spend more time talking about how you want it to look and not about Hassan Piker's house.
When I went to seminary, I went to Harvard Divinity School. I lived in Roxbury, and I commuted into Cambridge every day. And that's where I say I learned to hate liberals. All these people sitting around talking about empowering people they never met. They were flying off to Nicaragua to pick coffee a week with the Sandinistas and coming back and talking about it for the rest of the semester. Those are the kind of activists you're speaking about, boutique activists who have traditionally been and remain utterly irrelevant, not important, and not worth your time and your energy even responding to.
I feel like if you are the lefty, then why are you rich? Criticism only happens to those you already didn't like. I saw people dismiss the Jimmy Dore buying a nice house thing, criticize AOC for the dress thing, and vice versa. No one uses it for anything other than spite. The last 24 hours has seen Vice layoffs, Politico being bought by a private equity-backed behemoth, and MSNBC host raking in $30 million a year for once-a-week work while newsrooms face mass firing. It's a reminder, real journalism will die unless it is reader-supported and funded. Okay. Whatever. I'm not even going to watch anymore. Sorry, I can't. Maybe I'll spend some time and look at more of Briahna Joy Gray's podcast, and maybe I'll find something. But every time I hear it, it's this. It's more pondering. Just give me solutions. If you're going to have the person, if you're going to have the following, give me the solutions. I'm loving the jokes. I'm a big Hassan fan. I watch Vosh. I watch the Surfs. I'm getting more into black creators. Tim Black. Just shitty argument. Bad argument.